All right, so we're graphing this exponential function. We're going to pick some x values, put them in, and find the y values. And any that don't land on the grid, we just won't bother plotting. But let's put in like -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And hopefully that'll kind of give us an idea of where the graph is. So replace x with -2. Now 2 to the -2, you can use your calculator for this, but it means 1 over 2 squared. 2 squared is 2 times 2, that's 4. So it's 1/4 minus 3. You can get a common denominator and then subtract. 3 is the same as 2 and 4/4. And so when you subtract those, you get -2 and 3/4. So we have a point at -2, -2 and 3/4. Next, we'll plug in -1. So anywhere there's an x, we'll put -1. 2 to the -1 power is the same as 1 over 2 to the first power, or 1/2. 1/2 minus 3 is -2.5. Next, we'll put 0 in. Anything to the 0 power is 1, so 2 to the 0 power is 1, and then we'll have 1 minus 3. Which gives us -2. Next, we'll put 1 in. Y equals 2 to the first power minus 3 to the first power is 2. 2 minus 3 gives us -1. And finally, we'll put 2 in and see what comes out. Two squared, that's 2 times 2, that's 4. And then 4 minus 3 gives us 1. Now let's plot those points. From the origin, go to the left 2 down, 2 and 3/4. So somewhere around there. -1, -2.5. 0, -2. 1, -1. 2, 1. That gives us a pretty good idea of where it's going. Let's find one additional point. So let's go ahead and put 3 in. I want to see where that's going on the right-hand side of that graph. So y equals 2 to the third power minus 3. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2, that's 4, times 2 is 8. 8 minus 3 gives us 5. So we have a point at 3, 5. Final step here will be to connect those points with a smooth curve. If you were asked for domain and range, your domain would be all real numbers because any x value will work here. The range, all the y values are, it's getting closer and closer to -3, but it's all above -3, so we could say y is greater than -3. Again, this particular problem didn't ask for that, but a lot of times they will ask you for domain and range when you're graphing functions. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let's think, real quick, let's think about what the -3 did. That -3 shifted the graph down 3 units. So if you had graphed y equals 2 to the x, you would have had a y-intercept at 1 instead of -2. So that -3 just changed every y value down 3 units, or shifted the graph down 3. Got lots more videos on my website. Feel free to subscribe if you like.